everybody, Harold Reynolds here from MLB Network. Thanks for attending today's Atlantic League game. Baseball is the greatest game in the world, and again this season, Major League Baseball and the Atlantic League are experimenting with rule changes based on fan feedback that are designed to increase action, improve pace of play, and reduce injuries. A test rule you might recognize is the double hook designated hitter, which returns this year with a couple changes. As you recall, last year a team lost its designated hitter when the starting pitcher left the game. In 2022, as long as the starting pitcher completes 5 innings, then he can be relieved and the club does not lose a designated hitter. If the pitcher doesn't go 5 innings, guess what? You lose your DH. Now also returned is this one. It's the pass ball rule. In 2019, which allowed the batter to take off for first base with any time that a pitch was not caught by the catcher. This year, if the batter reaches first base, they will be credited with, get this, a base hit. We're excited to see these ideas play out, and we're glad that you'll be watching with us. Enjoy the game.
Hey Rockers fans, we are so thrilled to have you join us all here at Truist Point and during our broadcast via YouTube. Thank you for rooting on your home squad.
I'll be the last man standing here. I'm gonna rock you. I'm gonna rock you. I'm gonna rock you. I'll have you begging for mercy, begging for mercy. Oh, oh. I'm dangerous. So dangerous.
Occupy baseball!
I'm dangerous. So dangerous.
Welcome back into the Rockers pregame show, the Rockers Baseball Network. And for those of you tuning in on YouTube and around the ballpark, welcome in as we get set for first pitch tonight between the Rockers and the Genomes, Game 3 of a 3-game midweek series. Time now to take a look at today's starting lineups. First off, for the visiting Wild Health Genomes, managed by Mark Minikazi. Leading off, playing third base today is Luke Becker. Chris Shaw is in left field. He's batting second. Chris Davis, the designated hitter, will hit third. Jimmy Paredes is the second baseman who bats in the number 4 spot. Moises Sierra at first base hits fifth. Felix Pie is the right fielder hitting sixth. Austin Rye, the catcher, hits seventh. Anderson Miller is the center fielder batting eighth. Batting ninth is the shortstop, Gavin Johns. Player to watch today, well, that is going to be none other than Moises Sierra today, hitting .265 on the year, 6 home runs, 33 batted in. Against the Rockers, he's been good for about one big extra base hit per game, a 2-run triple the other night. Had a big double yesterday that came in and scored the first run of the game eventually. So he's a guy who the Rockers really have got to figure out how to not only keep him off of the scoreboard, but they've got to figure out how to keep him off of the base paths in clutch situations, because Moises Sierra has been a guy who's burned the Rockers. And again, it's not how many times he gets a hit against High Point. The issue with Sierra has been when in the game he has gotten the big hit. So in the event of a clutch situation, the Rockers really hope it's not Sierra coming up to the plate. On the other side, here's the lineup that Jamie Keefe has put together for the Rockers. Leading off at third base is Michael Russell. Ben Aklinski is the number 2 hitter today, playing right field. Jerry Downs at first base hits third. Quincy Lattimore, the left fielder, bats in the number 4 spot. Logan Morrison is the designated hitter, hitting fifth. Tyler Ladendorf at second base will bat sixth. Hitting seventh is Giovanni Alfonso. He's the shortstop today. Batting eighth is Jay Gonzalez, and he's the center fielder. Hitting ninth, Dakota Mulcahy. And Dakota is the catcher. Player to watch today for High Point, well, when you're hot, you're hot. And right now, that's Jerry Downs. He's put together a fantastic couple of weeks, week and a half really at this point. Was the Rockers Player of the Week last week, and he's really jumped out. 6 runs batted in already through 2 games this week. So Jerry Downs has really turned into, over the last week or so, the Jerry Downs that we remember from last year. We had seen it at times this year. There were signs that he is really starting to break out recently, especially because of how hot his month of July turned out to be. But right now for Jerry Downs, he is about as good a bat as you can find, and the Rockers are really excited to plug him right in to the number 3 spot in the lineup. But also 2 spots behind him, Logan Morrison, .262, 9 home runs, 35 batted in. But you look at what he has done recently, the triple yesterday, the double the day before, starting to drive the ball with authority once again. And so for the Rockers, the big thing here, can he continue to do that? Can he build off of those couple of hard-hit baseballs? And can Logan Morrison start to rediscover the power stroke that he's missed at times this year? Starting pitching matchup for the Genomes, it's their pitching coach Eli Villanueva going today. 7-8 with a 5.51 earned run average. This will be his 18th start. 94 and 2/3 innings pitched, 90 strikeouts, 49 walks, but he's given up 15 home runs. The opponent's only hitting .259 against him, but those 15 home runs are big. He is in the top 5 for most home runs allowed this season. So for the Rockers, a team that offensively has been in really good shape, that's plain and simply continuing to be the game plan, is to swing the bats, be aggressive at the plate. The one thing about Villanueva, though, he's crafty. You got to be careful that you're not chasing pitches outside the zone. Wait for him to come in the zone, because when he does, that's when you're able to do your damage. On the other side of things, Ivan Pinheiro going for the
Brittany here, coming to you all live from the
7 earned run average. This will be Pinheiro's 9th start this year, and he has made, he has pitched 29 to third innings pitched, 42 strikeouts, and 18 walks this season. So the Rockers, the big key for Ivan Pinheiro today is quick starts and solid finishes. He's a guy who the middle of his outings have not been bad. The issues has been either getting off to a slow start or finishing strong. So for High Point today, Ivan Pinheiro just needs to go out there and get into a rhythm early, because once he does, when he you kind of just see him start to cruise his way into hopefully what will be his 5th victory of the year. Pinheiro and the Rockers take the field now, which means we'll step aside for the national anthem. But when we come back, it's the Rockers, it's the Genomes, and it's next on the Rockers Baseball Network. Well, the conversations with the players and coaches have been abundantly clear. It's not about long and impressive winning streaks right now. It's about winning series. It may not be the sexy way to go, but at the end of the day, winning series and stacking series wins is what's going to propel the High Point Rockers to the 2022 Atlantic League postseason. Good afternoon, everyone. Kendrick Fruits here with you from Truist Point in High Point, North Carolina, as the Rockers and Genomes do battle in the big early August series between these two teams, as the Rockers and Genomes currently tied for the wild card spot. Should it become available, which every passing day the Gastonia wins, it does look increasingly likely that it will become a key part of this 2022 postseason picture. But anyways, right now these two teams tied for that spot. The Rockers would love to grab a one-game advantage, as they would only have one series left head-to-head against the Genomes after tonight. Ivan Pinheiro is on the mound today for the Rockers. 4-1, 3.57 is his earned run average coming into today's game. This is his 9th appearance. 29 1/3 innings pitched, 42 strikeouts, 15 walks. Opponents hitting just .219 against Pinheiro this year. So he has been a guy who, for the Rockers, the thing about Pinheiro, hits will come in flocks against him, but when they don't, he will go through long stretches of 9, 10, 11, 12 consecutive hitters retired, and that's what the Rockers want to see from Pinheiro. When he gets into a groove, he's really, really tough to do any damage against. Pinheiro ready. The leadoff man, Luke Becker, steps into the box for the Genomes. And Pinheiro fires first pitch. Becker swings. High fly ball into the right center field gap. A long run for Aklinski. He's not going to get to it. It's going to hit off of the wall. Becker on his way to third base. The throw just now coming into the infield. And a good start for the Genomes with a leadoff triple at 6:37 this evening from Luke Becker. It is 88 degrees and sunny. First pitch time and weather brought to you by Grandover Resorts in Greensboro. Live, work, enjoy. The lineup: Becker, Shaw, Davis, Paredes, Sierra, PA, Rye, Miller, and Johns. Here's Chris Shaw hitting at .272, 10 home runs, and 42 runs batted in. Ivan Pinheiro giving up a leadoff triple for Luke Becker. Hey, don't forget, Genomes scored first yesterday. Rockers scored mostly, or responsible for most of the runs after that, as Shaw swings and misses 0-1. High Point in the all-white uniforms again today. Genomes with gray pants, black jerseys. Here comes the 0-1 to Shaw. Pinheiro's fastball misses low, and the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. Home plate umpire today, Owen Ballard the fourth. Calvin Baker, the first base umpire. The third base side is manned by Bradley Moffitt, who was the home plate umpire yesterday. Here's the 1-1. Shaw grounds it to first base. It will go foul. The count 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Obviously, with a man on third and nobody out, the odds are pretty low. Just in terms of run expectancy, the Rockers don't give up 1 run here. But I think the big thing for High Point, you can get 1 out of the way without it being a productive out. Like that, swing and a miss, strike 3. There's a big jump in being able to keep the runner there at third base once you pick up that first out. So here is Chris Davis, 366, 8 home runs, and 23 batted in. Davis, of course, 221 career Major League home runs. Davis yesterday 1 for 3. Swing and a miss, chase that one down. And the count is 0-1. Here comes the pitch. That bounces low, gets away from Mulcahy, and it will go back to the backstop. Coming in and scoring is Luke Becker on what will probably be a wild pitch there from Ivan Pinheiro. Bounced that one. It kicked off of the front of the plate. That's the tough thing here. The ball hits the front of that rubber plate. It will sky straight up over the heads of the catcher and the umpire and find its way back to the backstop. So the bases are empty now. Here comes the 1-1 to Davis. Pinheiro able to go back to the windup and fires. Fastball low in the count 2-1. From all the guys in the Atlantic League, you don't want to get behind. This might be perhaps tops on that list. Pinheiro ready. Here comes the 2-1. That's the fastball strike called at the bottom of the zone. And the count 2-2. Davis thought that one was a little bit low. And here comes the 2-2. Pinheiro fires off speed, swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Jimmy Paredes. Back-to-back strikeouts here from Ivan Pinheiro here in the first inning. Paredes standing in the left-hand box. Pinheiro fires a low fastball, and the count 1-0. Genomes scored first yesterday. They scored in the second. And Paredes grounds this one foul, first base side, 1-1. All things considered, usually a high-scoring affair between High Point and Wild Health. Yesterday, interestingly enough, snapped a streak of 6 consecutive games in which the Genomes had scored 5 or more runs. Swing and a miss down in the count now 1-2 is Paredes. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Pinheiro, after that leadoff triple, could get out of this inning with 3 straight strikeouts to end it. Although 1 run has come in. Here's the pitch. It is grounded weakly to second base. Ladendorf comes in on it. And a throw to first for the final out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Genomes score. It's 1-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the first inning. Eli Villanueva on the mound for the Genomes today. 7-8, 5.51 the earned run average. Facing a lineup again, Russell Aklinski Downs, Lattimore, Morrison, Ladendorf, Alfonso, Gonzalez, and Mulcahy. 1-0 Genomes, but not a big deal for the Rockers. At least not recently. They've been able to make up some small deficits early, and obviously they haven't even come up to the plate yet. So for High Point, business as usual offensively, and they look to do it here against Villanueva. First pitch, a fastball strike, and the count 0-1. The Rockers have seen Eli Villanueva this year. They saw him in the very first series of the season. Russell grounds this one foul down the first base side, and the count 0-2. Eli Villanueva pitched the second game of the season, gave up 1 run in 5 innings. The 1 run was a home run to Quincy Lattimore. Here comes the 0-2 to Russell. It's a fastball, it's a strike, and he knew it. Russell heads down back to the Rockers dugout, and that'll bring up Ben Aklinski, hitting at .282, 15 home runs, and 54 batted in. Villanueva's been very up and down this year for Wild Health. Fastball low. And the count 1-0. comes the pitch, fastball. There's a strike at the top of the zone. Eli Villanueva not wasting time here today. Here comes the 1-1. Former Charleston Dirty Bird last year. He was a tough assignment for High Point in 2021. Felt like we saw him every series, every single time we played the Power/Dirty Birds last year. Aklinski swings, high drive into left field. No chance for Chris Shaw, and we're tied. Rockabye baseball. Ben Aklinski, a first inning homer. That is his 16th of the year. RBI number 55. Just like that, tie ball game. That'll bring up Jerry Downs. But Ben Aklinski evens the playing field right away. Villanueva ready. First pitch to Jerry Downs. And Downs swings, gets under this one deep into right field. PA going back. That ball is gone! Rockabye baseball. Jerry Downs and Ben Aklinski go back-to-back, and the Rockers lead 2-1 here in the first. Jerry Downs has homered 2 straight games. That is his 15th home run, RBI number 57. And the Bash Bros come into play here in the first inning. Here's Lattimore, who homered against Eli Villanueva last time. Hits this one on the ground up the middle. It'll get through a base hit. 3 straight hits for the Rockers. That'll bring up Logan Morrison now. Defensively, we'll set that for you for the Genomes. It's Shaw in left, Miller in center, PA in right. Becker is at third, Gavin Johns at short, Paredes at second, Sierra at first, and Rye is the catcher today for Villanueva. Here's Logan Morrison, 262, 9 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Villanueva fires, fastball. Morrison takes a strike, and the count goes to 0-1. Back-to-back home runs here in the first inning. Big for High Point. A couple of back-to-back home runs this year for the squad. However, that was a new combination. Xander Wheel, Quincy Lattimore. Xander Wheel, Logan Morrison. Tyler Ladendorf, Jay Gonzalez. And Xander Wheel, Jerry Downs. You'll notice Xander Wheel getting the day off today, not in the lineup. Here's the pitch to Morrison. That just missed inside. A flinch from home plate umpire Owen Ballard, but does not call it. And the count nothing and, or check that, 1-1. Wind fluttering out towards center field, right center. Here's the pitch. Bounces that one, does Villanueva. And the count 2-1. First inning has been a good one for High Point this year. They've outscored opponents 66-40 in the first inning. In fact, High Point has outscored their opponents in 6 out of 9 innings this year, with 1 tie, so they've only been outscored in 2 frames. Villanueva's thrown over to first base to check on Lattimore. Quincy has 5 stolen bases this year. Here comes the 2-1 to Morrison. A high, looked like a curveball that slipped out of his hand, and the way he's rubbing his hand on the side of his pant leg, I think that may exactly be what happened. So the count 3-1 now. Lattimore takes his lead off of first. Villanueva takes a long look in. Now he's set 3-1 on the way to Morrison. Eli fires. That's low. Ball 4. Lattimore heads to second. While those two were never teammates at the major league level, Villanueva and Morrison, they were teammates in spring training for the Miami Marlins for a time, or the Florida Marlins then at the time. In 2011, Villanueva made it to spring training with the Marlins. Logan Morrison is about to begin his first full season where he hit 23 home runs. That pitch high to Ladendorf, and the count 1-0. Here comes the pitch. There's a fastball called a strike to Ladendorf, and the count 1-1. Here's the pitch, fastball. There's another strike. And the count 1-2. Well, actually, you look back at some of the minor league stats from back in 2010, 2011, they may have crossed paths. Morrison spent 6 games in New Orleans, so he may have been there for a time while Villanueva was there. But point being, both members of the Marlins organization, about 10, 15 years ago. Ladendorf fouls that off, and the count 1-2. 2 runs already in for High Point on a pair of home runs here in the first. Lattimore at second, Morrison at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ladendorf, who's hitting at .230 with 12 home runs and 39 runs batted in. Slider misses low, and the count 2-2. Ladendorf, he's 1 home run away from what would be tying a career high of 13. Swing and a miss, chase the high off-speed pitch. That is the second out of the first inning, and that'll bring up Giovanni Alfonso, hitting at .303 with a couple of home runs and 29 batted in. Also, mentioning that home run that Jerry Downs hit a little bit ago, extended his hitting streak to 11, now 1 shy of Ben Aklinski's season-long hitting streak of 12. So the Rockers playing 2 tomorrow. We'll see if Downs will be able to extend it. Alfonso pops the first pitch up, out of play overhead, and the count 0-1. Pitch for Villanueva will be his 22nd of the inning. Von Pinheiro threw 14. There's a fastball. It's outside. And the count 1-1. You see Villanueva shaking his head there. Don't think he agreed with the fact that he didn't get the call. The count 1 ball, 1 strike. Base hit should be able to score Lattimore. It's the off-speed pitch from Villanueva, a curveball that Alfonso comes up empty on the swing, and the count goes to 1-2. Most of the infield already shaded, outfield in the sun, except for down the lines. Villanueva ready. 1-2 on the way. High and tight the fastball, and the count 2-2. Alfonso earlier this year became the Rockers' career leader in both games played and hits, so seems like every time out adding to both of those totals. And he will ask for time. Neither base runner being held on. 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. High fastball, strike three. Eli Villanueva strikes out 3 Rockers in the first inning. It also gives up a pair of solo homers to Ben Aklinski and to Jerry Downs. And the Rockers grab the lead after 1. It's 2-1 High Point on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the second, Rockers lead it 2-1 over the Genomes. Ivan Pinheiro now with a lead will face 5, 6, and 7. That is Moises Sierra, Felix P.A., and Austin Rye. Rockers looking to win a series, would be their second series victory out of their last 3. Actually be their second consecutive series victory and their third out of their last 4. Team that started the second half 0-10. They've gone 8-7 since then. First pitch to Moises Sierra. That misses low in the count 1-0. Sierra 265 with 6 home runs and 33 runs batted in. Pinheiro fires a fastball. There's a strike at the knees, hitting the low 90s is Ivan Pinheiro. Think back to one of the comments from a couple of interviews back with Jamie Keefe as Sierra about swings out of his shoes there, count 1 and 2. One of the things that Jamie Keefe said, Pinheiro is friends with Junior Rincon, and Rincon told him, use the fastball a little bit more. It sets up the off-speed stuff a little bit better. Used to be almost exclusively an off-speed pitcher. That one misses outside at 93, and the count 2 and 2. Pinheiro ready, 2-2 on the way. Off speed, down and away. There's that nice slider. Was trying to get a chase there from Sierra, but was unsuccessful. And so the count moves full. 3-2 on the way. Off speed, outside corner, doesn't get the call. And that's ball 4. A leadoff walk for the Genomes will bring up Felix P.A., hitting .253 with 8 home runs and 30 batted in. Want to look at the pitch tracker on that last one. Not saying I disagree with the call at all. I just want to see how much it missed by. About a ball and a half in the low and outside corner. First pitch to P.A. He swings, high fly ball into right field. Going back is Aklinski to the track, makes the catch on the run. And that is the first out of the second inning. Austin Rye, 235, the batting average, 6 home runs, 32 batted in. He has been all over and then some this year. Rye has played for the Genomes. He's played for the Ducks. He's played for Southern Maryland. Over 10 games with all 3 stops. One out, one on. Rockers lead by 1. First pitch, curveball outside, and the count 1-0. Fastball for Pinheiro in the low 90s. That curveball hit at 77. Here comes the pitch. There's the fastball hit in the air into center. Jay Gonzalez going back on it. Makes the catch in mid to deep center field. And that's the second out of the inning. We'll set the Rockers defensively. I don't think we did that yet. Quincy Lattimore in left. Jay Gonzalez is in center. Ben Aklinski in right. Michael Russell, the third baseman. Giovanni Alfonso, the shortstop. Second baseman is Tyler Ladendorf. Jerry Downs at first base, and Dakota Mulcahy behind the plate. Anderson Miller, the hitter now, 269, 3 home runs, 32 batted in. First pitch to Miller, swing and a miss. High slider, and the count 0-1. Sierra takes his lead off of first base. Here's the 0-1. Miller pounds it into the ground to second base. Easy scoop for Ladendorf. Easy inning for Ivan Pinheiro. A leadoff walk doesn't lead to anything, and we head to the bottom of the second. Rockers up by 1, looking for more. 2-1 high point of the Rockers Baseball Network.
Rockers fans, Brittany coming to you live from the High Point. We want to thank you all for joining us yet again for another Rockers homestand. We enjoy seeing you at Truist Point Stadium. Be sure to visit the High Pints located directly behind home plate on the concourse for delicious craft beers and Rockers team swag. We guarantee there is something in there for everybody. Yes, even your babies and your furry friends.
Rockers used a couple of home runs from Ben Aklinski and Jerry Downs in the bottom of the first inning to take the lead against the Genomes here tonight. The score 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the second. It's 8, 9, and 1 coming up here. Gonzalez, Mulcahy, and the top of the lineup in Russell. First pitch, a fastball strike to Gonzalez. And the count 0-1. Jay hitting a .297, 3 home runs, 27 batted in. If you listened to yesterday's game, there was a little bit of controversy in the third inning. A ball that Jay Gonzalez hit appeared to go over the wall, but ended up only getting a double out of it, did Gonzalez. We looked back at the video replay after the game. That pitch a called strike in the count 0-2. But check that. No, it didn't get called a strike. It's 1-1. Looked good from here. But anyways, we look back at the video replay over the game. The ball completely disappears over the wall, hits off of the lower section of a seat in the front row, and comes back into the field of play. So the Rockers did get robbed of a home run yesterday, as there's a called strike, 1-2. Ultimately, and thankfully, they didn't need the run, as they ended up winning by 5. But yes, Jay Gonzalez would have tied his career high with 4 home runs. Grounds this one to third base. Nice diving play by Becker. The throw to first in time to retire Gonzalez. But a good play from Becker. It was a hot shot down the third base side. Becker was playing a little bit towards second, and so really no time to think, just react. He dove towards the third base bag and fired a strike for out number 1. That'll bring up Dakota Mulcahy, hitting 106 with a couple of runs batted in. Villanueva fires high fastball to Mulcahy in the count 1-0. Genomes 1 run on 1 hit. The Rockers 2 runs on 3 hits. Villanueva fires and Mulcahy fouls it off. The count goes to 1-1. Rockers are still waiting on Mulcahy to really come around. We've mentioned it before, collegiately. Good power hitter was Dakota Mulcahy during his time at Southern New Hampshire. That pitch a strike in the count 1-2. Top of the lineup in the on-deck circle. A ball and 2 strikes. Villanueva ready. And timeout called by Mulcahy. Well, at least Villanueva a little bit quicker than Max Povsey was yesterday. This was a slow start to the game. The first inning yesterday took 50 minutes. Here comes the 1-2. That's high. And the count 2-2. Mulcahy ready. So is Villanueva. Here's the pitch. Popped up in the infield. Right in front of the mound. Eli Villanueva is calling for it. He collides at first base with the first baseman, Sierra. One of them caught it. Not sure who actually has the ball. It's Villanueva has the ball. But they're talking about it right now. Usually they tell you in Little League, let the position player call off the pitcher, which it looked like Sierra did. But Eli Villanueva made the catch anyways. So here is Michael Russell. Struck out looking his first time. Curveball inside. And the count 1-0. Genomes lucky that it didn't turn in to either A, a base runner, B, an injury, or C, all of the above. There's a strike to Russell. Count 1-1. Two outs, base is empty. 1-1 to Russell. Late on it and hits a towering fly ball down the right field line. PA is there. And that is the final out of the second. Rockers go down 1-2-3. We'll head to the top of the third where we'll have a look at the Atlantic League standings on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the third, which means it's time to take a look at the Atlantic League standings. First off in the North Division, Lancaster leads it with a 17-8 mark. Southern Maryland a couple of games back at 15-10. Staten Island 11-15, 6.5 back. You find York and Long Island in the bottom of the division, 10-16, which is 7.5 games back. In the South Division, Gastonia, who's already in the playoffs, off to a fast start again, 21-8. Kentucky 8.5 out. Lexington and Charleston both 10 back. High Point brings up the rear at 13 games back. But again, the big thought right now, it's all about the wild card position. Rockers and Genomes tied for that spot coming into today's game. First pitch from Ivan Pinheiro to Gavin Johns. Misses inside, ball one. Johns hitting at .216. He has driven in 7 runs this year. Pinheiro fires. This one hit on the ground towards second. Ladendorf there. Throw to first base. That's the first out of the inning. Luke Becker tripled to lead off the game. Scored on a wild pitch. And that is the only run of the game for the Genomes so far, but he comes up again now. Becker sure didn't waste a lot of time either, did he? First pitch of the game. Here comes the first pitch from Pinheiro. Off speed low. Becker was sizing it up and decided to lay off, which was the wise call for him in the count 1-0. Here comes the 1-0. Fastball strike inside corner, 1-1. Rockers injury report, John Hayes, Michael Martinez, both still on the injured list. One transaction today for High Point. One that I actually think is a really good move that may not go noticed by a whole lot of people, but I think it's a good pickup. Rockers have signed reliever Tyler Higgins, a right-handed reliever who reached AAA a couple of times, most recently with the San Diego Padres. Becker lines it center field, sinking fast. Gonzalez is going to have to play it on the hop. And Becker 2 for 2. With a one-out single here in the third, that'll bring up Chris Shaw. Tyler Higgins reached AAA with the Mariners in 2018. And again with the Padres in 2019 with El Paso. But then in 2020 went to Japan, played for the Oryx Buffaloes for the last 4 seasons. Or last 2 seasons rather. As Shaw fouls that off and the count is 0-1. But here's the thing, in his 10 minor league seasons, he put up a 3.85 ERA. Mostly out of the bullpen, so I think the Rockers have picked up another really solid arm for them, and this is a guy who Jamie Keefe has talked about. Some of the guys in the bullpen have been used a little bit more than he would have liked recently in terms of people throwing multiple innings, so being able to bring in this guy, Tyler Higgins, I think could go a long way for High Point down the stretch run if he's here for a while. That pitch missed outside, 1-1. 23rd round pick of guess who? The Marlins back in 2011. We've talked about the Marlins a lot today. That pitch outside. No, it's going to be called a strike, 2-2. 1-2 rather, sorry. One, two on the way. Pinheiro fires high fastball. A little bit outside too. Now it's 2-2. Higgins played collegiately at Lansing Community College and at Wayne State. This one hit high in the air, fairly deep into center off of the bat of Shaw, but Gonzalez is there to make the catch. Second out of the inning. It almost kind of felt like Shaw got that off the end of the bat, which is a little bit of a scary thought when you see how far that baseball went. So here's Chris Davis. Davis hitting .366, 8 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Struck out his first time up. Pinero's first pitch to Davis, a fastball called strike, and the count 0-1. Pinero ready. 0-1 on the way. That's line towards Alfonso. Knocks it down. Goes to second. They get the easy out and the final out of the third inning. So a one-out base hit from Luke Becker doesn't lead to anything offensively for the Genomes. And we will head to the bottom of the third now with the Rockers still up by 1. 2-1 on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Brittany here, coming to you all live from the High Point. Your High Point Rockers take on the Gastonia Honey Hunters tonight. Don't forget, it's Fireworks Friday. That means all of the Little Rockers fans and their families are encouraged to join us right on the field to watch a fun fireworks display post-game. It's like the 4th of July, every Friday home game right here at Truist Point. Also, calling all 90s fanatics. If you love the 90s just like I do, make sure you are all saved by the bell, haha, pun intended. Grab a pair of Rockers tickets for tomorrow's Saturday home game as we celebrate 90s night.
Bottom of the third inning. Rockers with a 2-1 lead. They have 2, 3, and 4 coming up. Aklinski, Downs, and Lattimore, the 3 scheduled hitters. 1 run on 2 hits for the Genomes, 2 runs on 3 hits for the Rockers in the bottom of the third. They'll look to add to that lead. Both of their runs came off of solo shots. One from the man leading off, Ben Aklinski, one from the man on deck in the form of Jerry Downs. Yesterday, Jerry Downs hit the Rockers' first home run of the series. But now for this week, Jerry Downs, 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in, and we're just 2 games and change into this week's schedule. So Jerry Downs, who was already named Player of the Week for the Rockers last week, I think is making a very strong bid to defend that honor this week. Somebody's really going to have to come and get it from him. The Rockers head to Gastonia over the weekend. First pitch, Aklinski swings, lines this one into left, but right at Shaw, who backs up a couple of steps, but otherwise doesn't have to move. That's the first out of the inning, but Ben Aklinski has hit 2 balls on the screws, both of them to left field. Eli Villanueva might want to think about pitching middle in to Ben Aklinski the rest of the night and maybe staying away from that. Here's Jerry Downs, also homered tonight. And the first pitch to him misses just outside. Austin Raya holding the frame, trying to get a call, but did not. 1 ball and no strikes. Villanueva fires a big home run swing from Downs there, but he'll come up empty, and the count 1-1. Shadows continue to stretch across the field from left to right. Again, our vantage point, we're looking right down the third baseline. Fastball low and in, doesn't get the call, does Villanueva, so the count 2-1. Here's the 2-1. Villanueva fires, and that's a slider, strike, 2-2. For the Rockers, sitting at 3 games over 500 right now overall at 47 and 44. So are the Genomes. Fastball, strike 3 looking. Down goes Downs. And that is the 4th strikeout of the game for Eli Villanueva, who has now retired 7 straight Rockers. Here's Quincy Lattimore, singled his first time up. Good the Rockers got to Eli early because it certainly looks like he's settling into a bit of a groove. Lattimore swings, high fly ball into center. Anderson Miller going back on it. He'll make the catch. Wasn't really that difficult of a play, but Miller came in on it first and then kind of had to hustle to reverse course. But he'll flag it down. That's a second straight 1-2-3 inning for Eli Villanueva. And with that, we will head to the top of the fourth inning. We'll take a look around the Atlantic League scoreboard next on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the fourth inning. Rockers lead 2-1. We'll take a look at the Atlantic League scoreboard really quickly, see what else is going on around the Atlantic League. Long Island trailing Staten Island. It's 3-0 Ferry Hawks in the middle of the third inning. Lancaster and York are delayed due to rain right now. That game hopefully will start here before too long. Southern Maryland and Charleston, no score in the first inning. Gastonia and Lexington also in the first after a late start. They were delayed due to weather. No score there either. Here in the top of the fourth inning at Truist Point, it's Paredes, Sierra, and PA. That is 4, 5, and 6 in the lineup. That misses outside in the count 1-0. Jimmy Paredes grounded out to second base his first time up. And Pinheiro fires the fastball. Paredes cannot come up with it. And the count goes to 0-2 now. I'll check that 1-1. Pinheiro fires off speed low. And I think Paredes might have accidentally fouled it off with a check swing. I think that's exactly what happened. A check swing from Jimmy Paredes, and he still got a piece of the bat on it. Comes the pitch, popped up, foul, and the count remains 1-2. Ivan Pinheiro looking to match Eli Villanueva, who's been strong in putting up some zeros recently. As that pitch a swing and a miss, strike three, and Dakota Mulcahy applies the tag. Third strikeout of the game for Pinheiro, who's really been racking up the strikeouts. His strikeouts per 9 innings since joining the Rockers, 8.3, which would be his highest mark since he recorded an 8.5 back in 2017. So he's definitely found a little bit of something here in High Point, but that curveball will hit Moises Sierra, who takes a couple of steps out towards the mound, but then heads over to first base. Obviously no intent there from Pinheiro. It was a curveball. Felix PA flied out his first time up. Pinheiro Pinheiro fires a fastball called a strike on the inside corner, count 0-1. Top 4, and the Rockers lead by 1. Pinheiro set, a 1 on the way. Another fastball and another strike. 93 miles an hour on the gun from Ivan Pinheiro. Here comes the 0-2. That's hit high and deep down the right field side. No chance. Felix PA keeps it inside the foul pole. And that is a 2-run home run. A high fastball from Ivan Pinheiro. He had gotten a couple of called strikes high and tight and tried to go back to it one too many times. PA absolutely demolished it. And the Genomes have regained the lead. It is 3-2 now. That is PA's 9th home run of the year. RBIs number 31 and 32. Here's Austin Rye, 0 for 1. Pinheiro ready. First pitch to Rye. Fastball low. Check swing, he didn't go. Here comes the 1-0. Pinheiro fires, and this one lined into center field. Will it hold up there for Gonzalez? Yes, Jay has some great closing speed, and he'll put that one away for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Anderson Miller now. Miller 0 for 1. That was actually the Genomes' first home run of this entire series moments ago off of the bat of Felix PA, which is saying something when you consider some of the big name sluggers they have on this team as Miller fouls that off, count 0-1. Becker in double digits, Shaw in double digits. Chris Davis is going to get there here before long. Paredes in double digits. Sierra should get there. PA is going to get there. Samir Dueñez will probably get there. That pitch low. And the count 1-1. This is a home run hitting team. Rockers able to keep them from doing so for 21 and a third innings. Miller swing and a miss. That pitch down in the turf. And the count 1-2. Pinheiro working quickly, ready with the 1-2. And the righty kicks and fires. Off speed down. Blocked up nicely by Dakota Mulcahy. And the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Next pitch for Pinheiro will be his 54th. Most he has thrown in a start this year is 98. Here comes the 2-2. Fires another fastball low in the count full. Bottom of the 4th inning. High Point has 5, 6, 7. That's Morrison, Ladendorf, and Alfonso. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Miller chased one down low. Strike 3. So the inning begins and ends with a strikeout. Unfortunately for the Rockers in the middle was a 2-run home run from Felix PA, and the Genomes take the lead 3-2. We head to the bottom of the 4th on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the fourth inning. Rockers down by 1. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 coming up here. That's Logan Morrison, Tyler Ladendorf, Giovanni Alfonso. There was a stretch in the first inning where Klinsky, Downs, Lattimore, and Morrison all reached safely. And since then, a whole lot of nothing. Eli Villanueva has retired 8 straight Rockers since walking Morrison in the first inning. So Logan will look to reverse that trend here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Villanueva fires first pitch to Morrison. That's going to hit him. I don't think that was the way he wanted to reverse the trend, but 2 former teammates no longer, and Logan Morrison will head down to first. Each team has hit 1 now. Brings up Ladendorf, who struck out his first time up. So Morrison takes his lead off of first base. Tyler Ladendorf looking for his first base hit of the ball game. Rockers have 3 so far today. Check that. Yes, 3. That's correct. First pitch to Ladendorf inside. Count 1-0. 3 hits per side. Only difference, the Genomes have scored once more than High Point. But lots of baseball again still to be played tonight. We know it's going to take a high number to win because it normally does when these 2 teams square off. Ladendorf will poke a single into left field, gets past Gavin Johns, and that's a hit. Back-to-back base runners for the Rockers here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That brings up Giovanni Alfonso. He struck out his first time. So how about this? The second and third games of the season, the Rockers lost 2-1 and 3-1. In the other 10 games in this series, the winner has scored 6 runs or more. You are not going to find many low-scoring contests when the Rockers and Genomes are involved, as Alfonso swings and misses strike 1. Morrison takes his lead off of second, Ladendorf off of first. Infield is in at the corners expecting a bunt. Alfonso a little half wave at a pitch in the turf in the count 0-2. Moises Sierra was not holding on Ladendorf as he was in front of first base, almost standing where the infield turf was. Now he's moved back to about midway through the dirt section. What would be the dirt section? Obviously, Truist Point is an all-turf facility. Comes the 0-2. Alfonso swing and a miss, strike 3. His second strikeout of the game. That's the first out of the inning. And the batter is Jay Gonzalez. Gonzalez grounded out to third his first time up. Hitting at 296 though. Talked about it at length a little bit his last time up. Robbed of a home run yesterday. Villanueva fires, fastball strike at the knees. And the count 0-1. In his pro career, Gonzalez career high home runs 4. Actually set last year when he hit 2 for Winnipeg and 2 for High Point. Fouls that one off in the count 0-2. Home runs, much like Giovanni Alfonso has said about himself, not part of his game. When they happen, great, but he's here to do a different sort of job. Should note, though, Jay Gonzalez only 15 RBIs away from a career high. 42 set back in 2015 between Frederick and Delmarva in the Orioles organization. But he'll swing and miss, strike 3. That's another one for Eli Villanueva. It's now 6 strikeouts for Villanueva through 3 2/3 innings. Here's Dakota Mulcahy, popped up in the infield his first time up. Rockers have the top of the lineup in Michael Russell waiting in case Mulcahy, or in the event that Mulcahy extends the inning. I want to say in case, he's certainly a very capable hitter. Rockers just waiting to see it. Chases that one down and in, and the count 0-1. Eli Villanueva struck out all 3 hitters or at least all 3 outs in the first inning were via the strikeout. He's going to try to accomplish that again here in the third. Or in the fourth, rather. That pitch down and in. And the count 1-1. Morrison still at second. Ladendorf still at first. Okay, just trying to find the outfield turf. Swings and misses on a pitch low. And the count 1-2 now. It has been a frustrating start to his High Point career. Couple of good moments where he's been able to poke a couple of hits. Actually, he has a multi-hit game this year. Just the success has been scattered for Mulcahy so far. Here comes the 1-2. Gets under this one, hits it high and foul, right field side. Count remains 1-2. That ball went a long way. It's a dark bat for Mulcahy, but neon green tape around the handle of it. Certainly no losing that bat anywhere. Villanueva shakes off Austin Rye a time or two. Now gets the call he wants. 1-2 on the way. And Mulcahy again pops this one up. It's behind the plate. Rye drifting back and watches as it gets out of play. And Dakota has another opportunity. Count remains 1-2. Not been a good start for the bottom of the Rockers lineup today. Bottom 3 have not reached base and have struck out 3 times. Here comes the 1-2. Mulcahy makes it 4 with that chase of a pitch down in the turf. So Rockers get the first 2 aboard. They stay there as Eli Villanueva strikes out the next 3 hitters. And we head to the top of the 5th. Genomes lead 3-2 in the Rockers Baseball Network. top of the 5th inning. Genomes with a 3-2 lead over the Rockers. Ivan Pinheiro, through 4 innings of work, is sitting at 58 pitches. Check that, 55. Eli Villanueva is at 58. Pinheiro has thrown 34 strikes. Villanueva has thrown 40. Genomes have 9-1-2 coming up here. That's Johns, Becker, and Shaw. Gavin Johns grounded out to second his first time up. Genomes took a 1-0 lead in the first inning on a wild pitch. The Rockers got it right back in the bottom of the inning on back-to-back home runs. Then the Genomes plated 2 in the top of the 4th, and that's how we are where we are. Here comes the first pitch to Gavin Johns. This one popped up a mile high. Couple steps into right field. Ladendorf going back, makes the catch. First out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's what you want to see if you're Jamie Keefe and Ivan Pinheiro. One of the things Keefe talked about in the pregame show interview today was the fact that while the bullpen, in terms of their rest and management and usage recently, is in much better shape than what we saw earlier this year, he said there are still a few guys who he's using a little bit more than he would like to at this point in time. So when you add a guy like Ivan Pinheiro who can go fairly deep into the ball game, that certainly helps things. As that pitch to Becker outside, and the count is 1-0. You look back at his last couple of starts, 6 innings, 6 1/3. So we got into the 7th his last time out. Only 5 innings in his start before that, but that was coming off an 8-inning appearance. So he's a guy who has shown the ability to go deep into games as Becker takes a strike. A ball and a strike. Pinheiro fires curveball, strike on the outside corner, and the count 1-2. Maybe not matching Eli Villanueva in the strikeout column today, as he's only struck out 4 to Villanueva's 7, but still Pinheiro getting the job done. That fastball missed just outside, and the count 2-2. Pinheiro with the 2-2, off-speed swing and a miss. Becker chased that one down and away. And that is the 5th strikeout for Pinheiro today. And his 47th, which puts him 4 behind Ryan Dole for the team lead. So here's Chris Shaw now 0 for 2. He has struck out once. After 2 straight starts where Pinheiro did not reach the 5 strikeout mark, back to it, which he has done now in 6 of his 9 appearances. Chris Shaw takes for ball 1. Season high for Pinheiro is 8. Here's the 1-0. High fastball, top of the zone, doesn't get the call, and the count 2 balls, no strikes now. On the way to Shaw. Pinheiro fires, fastball. Shaw lines this one deep into right field. Going back is Aklinski. It's going to one-hop the wall. Aklinski picks it up, fires a strike to second base. The tag is not going to get there. Alfonso holds it on Shaw just in case, but it is a double for Chris Shaw with 2 outs. Then Aklinski has got more than a couple outfield assists this year. Tried to add another one to his total, but not quite able to get that one in time to get Shaw. The middle Rockers infield comes over to talk to Pinheiro about the signs here for this at-bat. So that'll bring up Chris Davis, who's 0 for 2 today. Struck out his first time up. That was the 4th hit of the game for the Genomes. First pitch from Pinheiro, swung on and bounced foul into the Genomes dugout, and the count goes to 0-1. got most of the Rockers starting rotation for this upcoming series against Gastonia, which begins tomorrow. Fastball misses low to Davis, 1-1. A doubleheader tomorrow, first pitch at 3:15. Rockers pregame show begins at 2:50 on MixLR. Again, you can download the free radio app, MixLR, and search High Point Rockers Baseball. Here's the 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. But thanks to our good friend and Gastonia Technical Director Sam Robinson, we will also be bringing you a YouTube broadcast of tomorrow's game. So a big thanks to Sam again for being able to work that out. So be sure to check us out. Same YouTube page, High Point Rockers, but that will begin at 3 o'clock tomorrow. So again, MixLR pregame show at 2:50, YouTube at 3. That pitch down in the turf, blocked up, and the count 2-2. A lot of stadiums and ballparks around the Atlantic League don't have options to do such a thing, but Sam and his crew have worked really hard at Caramont Health Park to make this happen. So we tested it out and got to use it the last time we were there, the last game that we were there, and worked out well. So we'll be back on YouTube tomorrow. Davis on the ground to short. Giovanni Alfonso scoops it up, fires across to first base in time for the final out of the inning. Von Pinheiro puts up a 0 in the top of the 5th, and we're halfway home. Rockers trail the Genomes 3-2 on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Hey Rockers fans, Brittany here with yet another Rockers Hit Highlight Player Spotlight. We want to shine a bright light on Jonah Scalaro. Jonah grew up in the sunny state of Florida, and he even played college baseball at Florida State. In college, Jonah was used mainly as a relief pitcher. As a fifth-year senior, Jonah was picked up by the High Point Rockers on June 15th of this most recent year as a starting pitcher. His stint with the Rockers was a very brief one, but for good reason. On July 22nd, Jonah signed as an undrafted free agent with the Chicago White Sox. He is now with the Kannapolis Cannonballers. We are wishing Jonah lots of luck in his baseball career. I hope you enjoyed learning about your former Rockers player.
Bottom 5, Rockers down by 1. It is a 3-2 score. High Point has the top of the lineup coming up here. Eli Villanueva facing Russell, Aklinski, and Downs. Obviously a full scoreboard coming back in the 8th inning for you, but Isaiah Tejeda just launched a 3-run home run for Lexington. And they have taken a lead over Gastonia 3-0. We made the joke in the pregame show, will Gastonia ever lose again? Still a lot of ways to go in that game, but early lead for the Legends. Also, Charleston and Southern Maryland has been postponed today due to rain. Michael Russell hit first pitch of the at-bat. And, well, actually, he's staying there. I think maybe it got the bat, perhaps. Or maybe it didn't catch anything. Looks like it's going to be ball 1. Russell threw down the bat like it hit him. The ball, though, carried back to the backstop. There's a strike called in the count 1-1. Odd first pitch to get the 5th inning started, but 1-1 coming from Villanueva. Curveball, there's a strike, and the count 1-2 now. Russell, after bringing the average up to 244, now has seen it drop down to 233. Was hitless yesterday, going 0 for 4 with a walk. The day before was 1 for 4. Swing and a miss there. Strike 3, another one for Villanueva, his 8th. That'll bring up Ben Aklinski now. For a Rockers team that has struck out fewer times than anyone else in the Atlantic League, Eli Villanueva making it look easy right now. He's now struck out 4 consecutive batters. First pitch to Aklinski misses outside. Ben today 1 for 2 with a solo home run. Chops this one to third base. Becker coming in on it. It's a fair ball. It's a good throw from Becker. That's the second out of the 5th. Now Eli has retired 5 straight, his second such streak of 5 or more today. Here's Jerry Downs, 1 for 2, a home run and a strikeout. First pitch to Downs, a fastball misses low, and the count 1-0. Good pitch from Villanueva. Thought that Owen Ballard was going to call that one, but he did not. Here comes the 1-0. Curveball. Downs tries to muscle it inside the left field line. It's going to be a foul ball. It was an off-speed pitch that Downs just tried to push the other way, and it was hooking down the left field side, but the watchful eye of Bradley Moffitt correctly signals foul ball, and the count 1-1. We were talking about the broadcast information of tomorrow's game. We also can tell you that Mickey Janis will make his first start as a Rocker tomorrow in Game 1. Pitched 3 innings of relief of Neil Uscali on Sunday in his first Rockers appearance. Downs swings and misses. And the count 1-2. But Janis will make the start in Game 1. I've been told the Game 2 starter not currently on the roster, so not sure who that is. Then Uscali goes Saturday, and Craig Stem will get the start Sunday. High fastball from Villanueva, and the count goes to 2-2. So we'll see the knuckleballer at work tomorrow. Two balls, 2 strikes, and timeout called. Obviously, because there's so few knuckleballers across the professional baseball landscape. I'm going to talk to whoever tomorrow's catcher is about the difficulties of catching a knuckler. As Downs fouls that one off, might have gotten the bit of the front leg. And the count remains 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Villanueva fires off speed, up and away, and the count goes full. Now I want to go ahead and set up a piece we've got coming up here on the MixLR broadcast. If you're not listening on MixLR and you're watching on YouTube, you can also get to this clip on my Twitter account at Kendrick_Fruits as Downs swings and misses strike 3. Earlier today, I talked to Frank Viola and asked him about his recollections of the late, great Vin Scully. And here is what Frank Viola had to say. Rockers are down 3-2 as we head to the 6th on the Rockers Baseball Network. top of the 6th inning. And Ivan Pinheiro facing 4, 5, and 6. That is Paredes, Sierra, and Felix P.A. Paredes 0 for 2 tonight. Jimmy Paredes steps into the left-hand box. Ivan Pinheiro, 69 pitches through 5. Probably could get him through 6, maybe 7, depending on how the 6th goes, as Paredes fouls that first pitch off and the count 0-1. Paredes a 4-hit game, not yesterday, but the day before was hitless yesterday. Hits this one, a little weak excuse me into left field. Lattimore's going to have to play it on a hop. Quincy's still not 100%. He's just jogging about in the outfield. He's still recovering from that lingering hamstring issue, and you can tell both in the field and when he's rounding the bases, still not 100% in terms of running. So it's a leadoff hit for Paredes. Brings up Moises Sierra, who has walked and been hit by a pitch. Here comes the pitch from Pinheiro, a fastball strike on the inside corner, and the count 0-1. Moises Sierra does not agree with that at all. 3 runs on 5 hits for the Genomes, 2 runs on 4 hits for High Point. Pinheiro is ready. Here comes the pitch, fastball inside, and the count 1-1 now. Almost the exact same movement by Sierra to evade that pitch as the one before. 1 called a strike, 1 not. Here's the 1-1. That's fouled up over my head and presumably up onto the concourse. And the count 1-2. Paredes at first, not a huge threat to run, only 1 stolen base this year. A ball and 2 strikes. And Pinheiro fires away outside. And the count 2-2 now. Jamie Keefe changes his position in the dugout, now standing on the steps here on the far left side as that pitch grounded foul. The count 2-2. The stairs that lead down into the clubhouse area for the Rockers, but Jamie makes that point to be his perch for at times during the ball games, usually to get a good look at the pitcher. Here comes the 2-2, off speed, nice pitch, but it's fouled off. Moises Sierra, a good job to battle here with Ivan Pinheiro. Top of the 6th. And this is perhaps one of the more low-scoring games we've seen. Surprised. It's just 3-2 right now. Fastball hit on the ground to short, could be 2. Alfonso from his knees goes to second for 1. Ladendorf's relay to first is in time, gets him by a step. A good double play turned there, 6-4-3. Thought for a moment Alfonso might have bobbled it and that might cost him, but a good flip from his knees and a quick relay from Tyler Ladendorf at second base. The Rockers get the double play, wiping the bases, and now there are 2 away with Felix P.A. the batter. PA today, 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer his last time up. Pinheiro fires, fastball, down and in. And the count 1-0. On the way to PA. He swings, lines this one into right center field. That should split the outfielders. It does. And we'll head to the wall. PA is on his way to second base. He is now rounding, heading for third. Ladendorf picks it up, fires to third base. Here's the tag, and Michael Russell tried to sell it but didn't. It is a triple for Felix PA. Comes up a little bit gimpy. Notice at times Felix PA doesn't seem to be moving very well, even when he walks. This looks like he's shuffling his feet about. And the trainer is going to come out and give him a look as he appears to be in quite a bit of discomfort. So while that is going on over there down the third base side, I can tell you about what's coming up. The next Rockers homestand, or the next home series. Rockers will be at home a week from tomorrow. That is August the 12th against Gastonia. Of course, Friday is Fireworks Friday, and you can watch those from the field following the conclusion of the game. Saturday is 90s night against Gastonia, so we hope to see you out for that. The music, the attire, we hope to see you dressed up like you just came out of a time machine. Let's be honest, though. Come on. Regardless of what people think, the 90s weren't that long ago, right? Forget the fact that they're further away than we want to remember. But let's just go with it. They're not that far away. So that is on Sunday, or Saturday, rather. And then Sunday, this is one I think that has been quite a while in the making, and we're really excited about this one. A Rockers baseball card set giveaway on Sunday. I know I'm excited about that one. First pitch Saturday and Friday, 6:35. First pitch Sunday, 4:05. Grab your tickets at highpointrockers.com. Here is Austin Rye, who's 0 for 2, and Piniero's first pitch is fouled off in the count 0-1. PA, by the way, does remain in the game. Now with 2 outs and a runner at third base, Piniero trying to keep this a 1-run deficit. That pitch fouled off. Count quickly 0-2 now. Piniero is at 82 pitches. Could see it either way if he gets out of this inning quickly. I could see Jamie going with him again or going to the pin. That pitch fouled off. And the count remains 0-2. I've learned one thing over the years, and that's don't guess what Jamie Keefe is going to do. Piniero ready. 0-2 on the way. Righty fires, bounces it away from Mulcahy, goes back to the backstop, and I think it just got stuck there at the bottom. Coming in and scoring is Felix PA. The second wild pitch from Piniero makes it 4-2 now. There's just a small little opening. Maybe awning is the better word. But anyways, the cushion behind the plate on the backstop just juts out a little bit further at the top. And there's about a baseball's height width of a little indention at the bottom, and may have just gotten stuck there. A ball and 2 strikes to Austin Rye. Piniero fires, and that's fouled off again into the Genome dugout, so a good battle for Austin Rye. Pinheiro trying to find the final out of the 6th inning. That fastball fouled off. As a pitcher, it gets frustrating. You got 2 strikes on the hitter, and he has spoiled a lot of 2-strike pitches. As Austin Rye, so it becomes a bit of a mental battle as much as a physical one. What is that person going to throw? This one hit on the ground, right back up the middle. It'll be a tough play for Alfonso. He's able to deflect it, but nothing more. Gio had to go a long way for that baseball, and it kicked off of the tip of his glove. It's a base hit for Austin Rye, and I think that may have even sealed the fate for Ivan Pinheiro. He'll finish the 6th, but I don't think he'll have the 7th now. Here's Anderson Miller 0 for 2. Jamie Keefe has gone out really quickly onto the field of play. Rockers don't have anybody up in the bullpen, so this is Pinheiro's inning to finish, but we've seen Jamie start to come out a little bit more, and not in situations to take out a pitcher, but Jamie has started to come out a little bit more to talk to pitchers. So the situation right now, the runner at first base is Austin Rye with 2 outs, and Owen Ballard comes out to break up the meeting, but the meeting really had already dissolved before he got there. So here's Anderson Miller. Curveball. That's a good pitch. In there for a strike in the count 0-1. Rockers in the bottom of the inning will have 4, 5, and 6 coming up. This has been a long break for Eli Villanueva. Check swing on the low curveball. Miller does not go 1-1. There's a right-hander just started to throw in the bullpen for the Genomes. So he's just playing catch. He's not really throwing. Miller swings, lines it right field side, foul. And the count 1-2. Maybe Gabriel Moya perhaps down there. Or Alejandro Chacin. Chacin yesterday only faced 1 hitter, so there's a really good chance he is available today as well. Anderson Miller had to get a little bit of work done on his bat, so he is now making his way back into the batter's box. A couple of clouds overhead, but overall we're another beautiful day at the ballpark, and we're enjoying it. As Pinheiro bounces that off-speed pitch, count 2-2. We'll see what it looks like at Caramount Health Park. Chance of rain every day this week, however, or every day this weekend, but it has improved over the span of the last day or so. Now Dakota Mulcahy is on his way back to the Rockers dugout. He's asking for a towel. We've seen this a couple of times. The pellets here on this all-turf field will kick up and get in the catcher's eye. We have seen that happen a couple of times with Rockers catchers, a couple of times even with visiting catchers. So Mulcahy is getting that taken care of. And now he's on his way back to his post behind the plate. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 1 on. Here comes the pitch from Pinheiro. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's a fastball, and it gets out of the inning. But Pinheiro does give up a run. Felix P.A. tripled and then scored on a wild pitch. It is 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Rockers down 2 on the Rockers Baseball Network. bottom of the 6th inning. Rockers are down 2. Frank Viola has just signaled down to the bullpen for the Rockers to start getting somebody ready. So it looks like Pinheiro perhaps done after 6 innings. They were solid. He gave the Rockers 6 strong innings today. Just a couple of wild pitches hurt him during the course of this ball game. But High Point still very much in this game. The problem is Eli Villanueva seems to be getting stronger as the game goes on. Rockers have had just 2 base runners since the 1st inning. 6 straight have been retired by Villanueva, so he's gone through a streak of 8 consecutive. Now he's gone through 6 and hopefully not counting. Lattimore, Morrison, and Ladendorf, the 3 scheduled hitters. First pitch, a slider, misses outside, ball 1. Eli also is at 72 pitches through the first pitch of the 6th inning. Here comes the 1-0. There's a strike on the outside corner. And the count moves to 1-1 now. Now, home runs have been the name of the game today. This one a high in the air, deep down the left field side. It is visually gone, and it is foul. With some incoming clouds down the left field side, I'll be honest with you, Lattimore hit that ball so high up. I lost that baseball almost from the get-go. But it was a foul ball. Here comes the 1-2. This one popped up over our heads. And the count moves to 2-2. So the arm in the High Point bullpen, it is a right-hander. Can't see who it is yet. We'll try to tell you here in just a moment. First, the 1-2 coming to Lattimore. Villanueva fires. Lattimore chases down low, strike 3. That in the Rockers bullpen is Cole Aker. So another strikeout for Eli Villanueva, which gives him 10, his 10th strikeout of the game. Here's Logan Morrison. He has walked and has been hit by a pitch tonight. Villanueva fires. Morrison lines it right field side, foul into the Rockers bullpen. And the count 0-1. And you think a couple of what ifs tonight. If he doesn't make that mistake pitch to PA, it's 2-2. If you don't throw the 2 wild pitches, it's 2-2. Morrison chases that one down, and the count is 0-2 to Morrison. Ladendorf waits in the on-deck circle. Still time for the Rockers, but time is starting to drift away as Morrison strikes out, the 11th strikeout for Eli Villanueva. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Genomes, 2 runs on 4 hits for High Point. Here's Ladendorf, 1 for 2 today. Lights are on here at the ballpark. And Villanueva fires first pitch to Ladendorf, high fastball, and the count 1-0. Bad thing for the Rockers, Eli's at just 80 pitches. He'll probably come out for the 7th. Ladendorf pops it up, foul territory. Long run for Sierra towards the Rockers dugout, loses his hat, sticks out the glove, and still makes the catch. The Rockers go down 1-2-3 once again in the 6th. We head to the top of the 7th inning. Genomes lead it 4-2 on the Rockers Baseball Network. So Ivan Pinheiro goes 6 innings, gives up 4 runs, all earned on 7 hits, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 2 wild pitches. And 1 home run allowed to Felix P.A. The 2 wild pitches both allowed runs to score, and the P.A. home run, a 2-run blast, so that accounted for all the Genomes scoring so far. But the Rockers will turn it over now to right-hander Cole Aker. Aker on the year, split between High Point and Lancaster, 2-2 with a 5.96 earned run average. This is his 25th appearance. 13 walks, 24 strikeouts, and opponents hitting .281 against him. Aker will face 9-1-2 in the lineup. Johns, Becker, and Shaw, the 3 scheduled hitters coming up here for the Genomes. Again, this is an important series for the Rockers, an important game for the Rockers, and with 3 offensive at-bats left, they've got some work to do, down by 2. Probably going to see 1 more inning of Eli Villanueva, and then you get into the bullpen of the Genomes, which, if you want to see how that is split this year for Wild Health, starting rotation, the 2nd worst in the league in terms of ERA. Their bullpen is ranked 7th out of 10 in terms of ERA. That pitch missed down low, and the count 1-0 to Gavin Johns. So that's kind of what the Rockers' scenario is. First off, the important thing is for Cole Aker to come put up a clean top of the 7th. A ball and no strikes to Johns, who's 0 for 2. That pitch low and goes through the glove of Dakota Mulcahy. Bounces away behind him in the count 0-2. The bottom of the 7th, the Rockers will have the bottom third of the lineup coming up. Here comes the 2-0, swing and a miss. The fastball there from Aker. Gavin Johns comes up empty, though. And the count 2-1. Aker fires the 2-1. That fastball popped up foul. Once again overhead and heading towards the concourse near the home plate gate. Here's the 2-2, off speed, again popped foul. This one further down the first base side, but it will also get well out of play. And the count 2-2 still. Johns battling with Aker here. There's the 2-2. Fastball, that's roped foul. Left field side, and the count 2-2. Cole Aker having a hard time finding the put-away pitch here with the number 9 hitter, Gavin Johns. Just a .211 hitter, but right now he's battling with the best of them. Here comes the 2-2. Aker holding the set and fires off speed, swing and a miss. Cole finally wins the battle. Strike 3, and that's the first out of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Luke Becker, who is 2 for 3. Becker tripled to lead off the game, tripled on the first pitch of the game and scored on a wild pitch, would later single in the contest and also struck out. Aker ready, first pitch on the way. And the Rockers righty fires a fastball that is in there for a, no, it's not in there for a strike. Thought it was going to get the call there, but he did not, in the count 1-0. Aker ready. Here comes the 1-0. Another fastball. This one also misses outside. And it's now 2 balls, no strikes. Control has been a bit of an issue at times for Aker in his short High Point career. That one outside, 3-0. In jeopardy of putting the number 1 man in this Genomes lineup on base. It's 3 balls, no strikes, with Chris Shaw waiting in the on-deck circle. 1 out, top 7. Fastball, called strike, and the count 3-1 now. Aker set just above the belt. Takes a deep breath. 3-1 on the way to Becker. That's a high fastball. Did he go? No, according to Bradley Moffitt, ball 4. Fans do not agree with Bradley Moffitt's decision. Much like Jamie Keefe did not agree with Bradley Moffitt's strike zone yesterday. That'll bring up Chris Shaw, 1 for 3 with a double. Looking at the replay here. Oh my goodness, yep, that's a swing. That's a swing if we've ever seen one. Here comes the first pitch to Shaw. He'll foul it off. No balls and a strike to Shaw, who's putting together another solid year. Was a Long Island Duck last year. Runner goes. Here's the pitch. Off speed is a strike. Mulcahy's throw down to second is well late. And that is the 9th stolen base of the year for Luke Becker. Genomes, like the Rockers, don't steal a ton. They are now 73 out of 93 this year. High Point, that's High Point is 73 out of 93. The Genomes 68 out of 90. Oh, 2 on the way. Aker fires curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3. That's Aker's second strikeout of the game. Brings up Chris Davis. Davis today is 0 for 2. Check that, 0 for 3 is Davis. He is also struck out. Aker fires first pitch to Davis, a fastball. It's a called strike. And the count quickly 0-1. Aker holds the set, ready with the 0-1. Looking back at Becker, now fires a curveball inside. And the count goes to 1-1. One on the way. Davis waiting patiently in that right-hand box. Aker fires. Fastball just below the knees. Doesn't get the call. And the count 2-1 now. In the top of the 8th inning, we'll take another look at the Atlantic League scoreboard. One game has already been postponed today due to weather. Davis swings, pops it up, right field side. It's foul, but it may be playable for Jerry Downs. He's heading over towards the Rockers bullpen. The ball falls into the bullpen. And the count 2-2 now. Aker has thrown 20 pitches, 12 of them have been strikes. Here comes a 2-2 to Chris Davis now. Aker looks back at Becker, inching off of second base. Here's the pitch to Davis inside, almost got him. And the count full now. Well, it's pretty simple for the High Point Rockers. Can't give up any more runs. You've got to put a 0 up here, and then you've got to figure out Eli Villanueva. And Aker steps off. Dakota Mulcahy is going to go out and talk. I don't think they're on the same page with the signs. Got to be careful, though, too, with Chris Davis. Obviously, I think you can make the case Davis, the only man whose reputation for power in the big leagues may be larger in the Atlantic League than Logan Morrison's. Here comes a 3-2 to Davis. Aker holds the set and fires. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. So they leave Becker at second with a big strikeout. Aker strikes out 3 hitters. And with that, it is stretch time. We go to the bottom of the 7th, and the Rockers trail by 2, 4-2 in the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th, and yes, once again, it is Eli Villanueva here for the Genomes. Rockers, I think, will have action in their bullpen for the 8th inning, but right now the Rockers need to score. It's the bottom 3 in the lineup. Alfonso Gonzalez Mulcahy combined 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts. Eli Villanueva has struck out 11 already. Rockers pitchers have combined to strike out 9 on their own, so lots of swings and misses in this game, which is very uncharacteristic for a Rockers game. Alfonso, speaking of, swings and misses there, strike 1. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts tonight. Here comes the 0-1. There's a fastball down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Rockers about to get somebody up in the bullpen. We'll find out who that is in just a moment, but there will be a new pitcher in the 8th. Here comes the pitch. Alfonso on the ground to short to Johns. Almost came up on it, but made the play. Threw on to first base. There's the first out of the inning. Brings up Jay Gonzalez 0 for 2. Pitcher in the bullpen for the Rockers is a lefty. It is Bryce Hensley. And Villanueva fires. Excuse me. First pitch misses upstairs to Gonzalez, and the count 1-0. To Gonzalez. Fouls that one straight back. And the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike now. Ball and a strike. That pitch from Villanueva misses low. I think we might have just seen some lightning over there over center field. There was a chance of a slight thunderstorm. Looked like we might have just caught the edge of it. Thought we just saw some. We'll keep an eye out that direction. Here comes the 2-1. Gonzalez grounds this one weakly towards first base. Sierra with it. Underhand flip to first. The pitcher covering. And that's the second out of the inning. Brings up Dakota Mulcahy 0 for 2. Rockers actually going to go with a pinch hitter here. Dakota Mulcahy is going to be lifted. Cesar Trejo will come up to pinch hit. Mulcahy is 0 for 2. Jamie Keefe said it when the Rockers went out and got Trejo. That's kind of the game plan for him. He was going to get a couple of starts a week, but would be mostly used as the pinch hitter, as the guy the Rockers need for extra base hits and getting on base. And a late inning spark. That pitch low from Villanueva. The count 1-0 to Trejo. 1-0 on the way. Trejo checks his swing, did not go on the pitch down, and the count 2-0. Top of the lineup waits in the on-deck circle. Rockers down 2. They have 7 more outs in regulation to work with. Here comes the 2-0 from Eli Villanueva. First time out called at the plate. Here comes the 2-0. Trejo takes low, 3-0. Michael Russell is 0 for 4 in the on-deck circle. I just said 0 for 4. He's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch, fastball. There's a called strike. And the count 3-1. Trejo hitting .333 this year. Remember, he started the year with the Honey Hunters. Then he went to Cleburne. And that pitch going to miss. They're going to walk Trejo. Cesar Trejo is aboard. And that will bring up Michael Russell. Russell today is hitting, again, we mentioned 0 for 3, the batting average at .232. And he's going to step in against Eli Villanueva here. As Villanueva fires pitch number 94. This one tapped weakly towards Eli, and he'll throw on to first base. That will retire the Rockers in the 7th. Not a good 7th inning for High Point offensively. And we will leave Cesar Trejo stranded over there at first base. We will head to the top of the 8th. Rockers down 4-2 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the 8th inning, Rockers go to the bullpen. It is Bryce Hensley coming in. Cole Aker went 1 inning, walked 1, struck out 3. Hensley comes in now 2-2 with a 2.84 earned run average. He has appeared in 37 games, 50 2/3 innings, most of any Rockers pitcher this year in terms of both innings pitched and appearances. 18 walks, 35 strikeouts, and opponents hitting .222 against him, and he'll be facing 4, 5, and 6 in the Genomes lineup. That is Jimmy Paredes and Moises Sierra and Felix P.A. Also, Rockers have switched catchers. Obviously, Dakota Mulcahy was pinch hit for, and so with that, Mike Galino is now behind the plate. With the left-handed pitching Hensley, Jimmy Paredes will swing around to the right-hand side. He is 1 for 3 today from the left-hand side. And looks like there is action beginning in the Genomes bullpen. A right-hander looks like he may be getting ready to throw. We'll certainly keep you up to date on that. First pitch to Jimmy Paredes. Hensley fires a fastball, fouled off in the count 0-1. Also gets you a look at the Atlantic League scoreboard here in the top of the 8th inning. Bottom 6, Staten Island has rallied from 4 down to take the lead on the Ducks. It is 7-4 now. York on top of Lancaster in the second. They were delayed due to weather for a bit, and it is now 2-1 Revs in that one. Paredes takes down and in, the count 1-1. Lexington 5-0 over the Honey Hunters in the top of the 3rd inning. And Charleston and Southern Maryland again postponed due to rain. Hensley fires. Paredes chases that one down in the dirt. That is strike 2 in the count, or that is, strike 2 in the count 2-2. Actually, after the right-hander in the pen took a couple of tosses, they switched out, did the Genomes. Now there is a left-hander throwing in the bullpen down there. It is not Luis Guzman, who we saw yesterday. Here comes a 1-2 from Hensley. The lefty fires high and away, and the count 2-2. So the question then becomes, what other left-handers are down there in the Genomes bullpen? Robbie Ross Jr., Ryan Kellogg, and Gabriel Moya. I would assume this is Robbie Ross, as that pitch fouled off. The count remains 2-2. Nobody out. Top of the 8th inning. Hensley fires, and Paredes lines this one into the left field corner. That is going to bounce up over the wall, a ground rule double for Jimmy Paredes, and he's got himself a 2-hit day. There's Moises Sierra, 0 for 1, has also walked, been hit by a pitch, and has scored. It's been a rough recent stretch for Bryce Hensley, as good as he was at the beginning part of the year, really up until a couple weeks ago, and he was very, very good. But recently, 2 runs allowed his last time out, 3 runs allowed a couple of outings ago. Fastball strike at the knees to Sierra, and the count 0-1. Hensley ready, 0-1 on the way. Fastball strike. It was a check swing from Sierra, but it didn't matter because it caught the zone anyways, so the count 0-2. Rockers will have 2, 3, 4 coming up in the lineup in the bottom of the 8th inning. But again, you got to get through this inning without allowing Paredes to score. That's going to be a tough task as Sierra has lined this one into left. Paredes heads to third. And now there were runners at the corners with still nobody out in the 8th inning. You start to wonder a little bit, perhaps, is Bryce Hensley just starting to feel a little bit of fatigue after how much he's been used this year? A lot of multi-inning appearances, but also for a large stretch of this season, Hensley has been the first guy called on, or one of the first guys called on out of the High Point bullpen. Here comes the first pitch from Hensley way outside. This is, I believe, Demetrius Moorer, who hits it on the ground towards second. Ladendorf scoops it up, goes to first base. And that is the first out of the inning, but Paredes comes in and scores. So Demetrius Moorer is out 4-3, but he earns the RBI in the process, and Sierra heads to second. So that'll bring up Austin Rye. Austin Rye today 1 for 3. Runner at second base now and 1 out. Hensley fires first pitch to Rye. Fastball low and the count 1-0. Runner at second base is Sierra. Hensley set, 1-0 on the way. That pitch fouled off. And the count 1-1. So we would expect to see Demetrius Moorer come in. I would assume he may take even over at center field. Anderson Miller may move to right. We'll see. Here's the pitch. Runner goes for third. The throw from Galino almost into the outfield, but a good play by Michael Russell to keep that one from sailing into left. A stolen base for Sierra, his 4th. One ball and a strike to Austin Rye here in the 8th inning. It is now 5-2. Rockers would really be in trouble if this run comes in and scores from third base. The offense has done next to nothing since the first inning. This one lined up the middle. There goes that run in to score. It's an RBI base hit for Austin Rye. Bryce Hensley's recent struggles continue. 6-2 now. Here is Anderson Miller, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Hensley set, first pitch coming to Miller. Fastball, and Anderson fouls it off. And the count 0-1. Robbie Ross continuing to throw in the bullpen. Ross, the former major leaguer. Oh, 1 coming. Hensley bounces that one in the turf. Nicely scooped up there by Mike Galino. And the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. Gavin Johns in the on-deck circle. They're going to have to face some of the big power bats again, regardless of whether it's the 8th or the 9th inning. If you're the Rockers, you know there's some big names coming. Is that pitch low in the count 2-1? And Jonathan Crawford up in the bullpen for High Point. Crawford has gotten up in the pen a lot recently, but has not thrown much. His last appearance was the 26th against the Genomes. Here's the 2-1. This is grounded to Ladendorf. Could be 2. Goes to second for 1. A quick turn from Alfonso to first. No, they don't get the turn. So that's the second out of the inning as Gavin Johns comes up. Good call from Calvin Baker. It's correct. Rockers get Austin Rye for 6. Gavin Johns 0 for 3 is the hitter. First pitch on the way. Nope, Hensley's going to check over to first base on Anderson Miller. Miller has 10 steals. And again, the Genomes, much like the Rockers, don't run a whole lot, but one of the guys that does, it is Anderson Miller. Hensley fires. That pitch low. And the count 1 ball, no strikes. Crawford working quickly in the Rockers bullpen. Here comes the 1-0 from Hensley. This is lined right field foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. With the Rockers 8.5 behind Gastonia, nobody has really said that they're out of the first half hunt as far as winning the division goes. Runner goes, that pitch high. Galino's throw down to second base late and to the wrong side of second. A stolen base for Miller. But I think the Rockers do realize their best avenue into the postseason is through the wild card. The good thing is, whether it's wild card or the division, it's a really simple recipe with how to get there. Win. Here's the pitch, grounded foul, first base side. The count remains 2-2. We continue to see some lightning off in the distance out in center field, but it appears that is all we're going to get from it, which is nice. Here's the pitch, and again fouled. Gavin Johns late on a lot of these offerings from Bryce Hensley. He's now fouled off 3 consecutive pitches. Hensley set, 2-2 coming. And guess what? Foul ball. David Robertson made his first appearance back with the Philadelphia Phillies yesterday against the Braves. Pitched a scoreless inning and struck out 2. Like Jamie Keefe said in the pregame show today, really good to see that Robertson gets an opportunity to be back with a club contending for a postseason spot. Runner goes on the high fastball, strike 3. John strikes out to end the inning, but the Genomes rather score twice. And the Rockers, bit of a tough task, finding themselves down 4 now as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 6-2.
Hey Rockers fans, Brittany coming to you all live from the High Pints. Thank you for subscribing to our Rockers YouTube channel. We appreciate you watching our home squad even when you cannot make it into the stadium.
Bottom of the 8th inning. New pitcher for the Genomes. It is not Robbie Ross like we thought it was. This is Gabriel Moya. And I guess it could be that I really thought we saw Robbie Ross out there. I think that perhaps he might have started the inning warming up and they switched lefties once the Genomes added a couple of runs. Gabriel Moya comes in. His numbers this year. No record, a 7.88 ERAs, only made 8 appearances though. 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, opponents hitting .261 against him. So the Rockers have 2-3-4 coming up. That is Aklinski, Downs, and Lattimore. Aklinski 1 for 3 with a home run. I think the Rockers sure are glad to have Villanueva out of the ball game. Eli went 6 innings today, or 7 innings rather. Gave up 2 runs, both earned, 4 hits, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. Moya set. Here comes the first pitch to Aklinski. There's a strike called, and the count goes to 0-1. Aklinski and Downs have 2 of the Rockers' 4 hits today. Lattimore behind him has the 3rd, so these 3 guys, the Rockers really need to get things going. Moya fires, and Aklinski pops it up in the infield. Coming in is the 3rd baseman, Becker, and makes the catch as he starts to climb up the back of the pitching rubber, or the pitching mound, rather. That's the first out of the inning. Well, we've talked about this some recently. The Rockers have sometimes an issue of getting off to a hot start and then ice cold, either in the middle stretch of the game or just from then on out. And they're in jeopardy of a quote-unquote from then on out here tonight as they scored 2 in the first inning and actually have only had 1 hit since then. Here's Jerry Downs. Pops it up, foul territory, long run for Becker towards the divide, and that ball will go into the seats about the 3rd row or so, and the count 0-1. Crawford continues to throw in the bullpen, so it looks like Jonathan will finally get back into a ball game in the top of the 9th. Moya takes a long peek in and steps off. Also, a baseball got loose from Jonathan Crawford. I think that might have actually been what precipitated him stepping off. comes an 0-1. And the lefty Moya fires, and Downs fouls it off left field side yet again. Xander Wheel has the bat in the bottom of the stairs. The Rockers dugout. Not sure who he would be in to hit for. We'll see. Perhaps could be in for Logan Morrison technically. That pitch, strike three looking. Jerry Downs is rung up. The 12th strikeout by a High Point batter today. And that'll bring up Lattimore, who is 1 for 3. And yeah, Xander Wheel is at the top step. Two outs now. In the bottom of the 8th inning. And Moya steps off. Well, we said it earlier on in the show tonight. In all but 2 of the games between these two teams this year, winning team has scored 6 or more runs, and the Genomes did get there. Rockers have their work cut out for them if they're going to do the same. They have 4 outs, in which to get 4 runs. Lattimore takes a strike. Another baseball got loose from Jonathan Crawford. Xander Wheel retrieved it, threw it back to Joe Johnson, who is guarding, I assume that's Dakota Mulcahy back there now. Curveball misses high. The count 1-1. Actually, I think that may be Burt down there catching in the pen. The Rockers don't have a first base coach right now. I think that's Burt. Burt's getting himself a bullpen. Way to go. Here's the 1-1. Lattimore, high fly ball into left. Going back on it is Shaw. Does he have room? He settles down at the track and makes the catch. Quincy Lattimore gave that one a ride, but the baseball got off one stop too early. We'll go to the top of the 9th. Rockers go down 1-2-3 on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Hey Rockers fans, Brittany coming to you live from the High Point. Thank you for subscribing to our Rockers YouTube channel. We appreciate you watching our home squad even when you cannot make it into the stadium. Be sure to shop our online Rockers merchandise from home. Simply head to highpointrockers.com and click on the merchandise tab. We know your friends and family would love to rock some home team merchandise.
Rockers go to the bullpen in the top of the 9th. Jonathan Crawford is in relief of Bryce Hensley. Hensley went 1 inning, gave up 2 runs on 3 hits, struck out 1. Crawford comes in now. Has an ERA of 5 in 28 appearances this year. 30 walks in 27 innings, 44 strikeouts. Opponents hitting 183 against him, so obviously it has not been the hits that have hurt Crawford. Only given up 2 home runs, but 30 walks and 12 wild pitches. The only Rocker in double digits in the wild pitch category. And he will be facing the top of the lineup, Becker, Shaw, and Chris Davis. Right-hander in the bullpen for the Genomes now. Reminder what's coming up in the next Rockers homestand, or next Rockers home series, rather. Coming up the 12th, 13th, and 14th of August. On Friday the 12th, against Gastonia, Fireworks Friday. You can watch the post-game fireworks from the field on Friday, following the conclusion of the Rockers Honey Hunters game. First pitch 6:35, gates open at 6. Then on Saturday, 90s night at the ballpark, as Crawford misses low, ball 1. So, we'll be cranking up the 90s tunes here. Be sure to dress up accordingly. Join in on the fun at the ballpark. Here comes the 1-0. There's a fastball strike. And the count 1-1. I may have to break out the old Ken Griffey Jr. Mariners jersey for 90s night. That or Ryan Sandberg's Cubs jersey, either one, early 90s. It wasn't the teal Mariners one, it was the white one with the green and yellow lettering. So it's the old Mariners one that was predominantly their 80s uniform, but did carry into the early part of the 90s. Becker fouled that off in the count 1-2. Think like a rookie year Ken Griffey Jr. sort of style. Here comes the 1-2. Crawford fires high fastball. And 2 balls, 2 strikes now, the count to Becker. Anyways, then on Sunday, one that we're really excited about. Wanted to get this one off the ground for the last couple of years now. So the Rockers will have a baseball card giveaway on Sunday as Crawford fires high, count full. I have seen them. It is a good-looking card set. Again, that's Sunday the 14th of August. Grab your tickets at highpointrockers.com. Payoff pitch to Becker. Crawford missed high again, ball 4. First walk from Crawford. It's a very odd case. Last year, walks were not an issue for him. This year, they're a huge issue, but nobody can hit him. We talked about that .183 opponent's batting average, but he's kind of hurt himself at times this year between walks and wild pitches. Check over to first base on Becker as Chris Shaw is the batter. Shaw today 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Fastball, swing and a miss. The count 0-1. Crawford absolutely blew that one by Chris Shaw, the blistering fastball. Becker with 9 steals, actually 10. He's got 2 today. Started the day with 8. Shaw under this one. Towering pop-up, shallow center. Ladendorf backing up on it. Still backing up, makes the catch. That is the first out of the 9th inning. Brings up Chris Davis with a runner on first. Davis today 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Was told told prior to the game, I'll keep names out of it, but was told prior to the game that the first pitch to Davis, swing and a miss, count 0-1. I had selected Davis as the Devine strikeout player of the game, which of course means if he strikes out, you bring your ticket to Devine for a free small drip coffee. And I was told I was crazy for picking the former big league slugger. Perhaps it might affect the Rockers adversely tonight. Maybe give him a little extra incentive, but I feel vindicated because he has struck out twice tonight. Here comes the 0-1 to Davis. Crawford fires low in the count 1-1. Baseball has just gotten loose from the Genomes side of the field. Well, it was the other side earlier, but now we're starting from the Rockers when Crawford was down there, but now we're starting to see it the other side. Loose baseballs here and there. Here comes the 1-1, though. And Crawford fires. Fastball down and away. Galino with a nice catch. The count 2-1. Runner at first base is Becker. One out. Here's the 2-1. Crawford fires. This is hit on the ground to Ladendorf at second. Shuffle pass to Alfonso for one, on to first in time. That is a 4-6-3 double play. The Rockers get out of the ninth inning without a run scored. So we head to the bottom of the ninth. Rockers have work to do. They need 4. It is certainly doable. Rockers looking to rally next on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the ninth, Rockers down 4, and the Genomes head to the bullpen. Gabriel Moya pitched a scoreless 8th inning, striking out 1. They'll turn it over now to Jack Weinberger. We saw Weinberger on Tuesday, rather. 2-1, 4.14 the ERA. This is his 31st appearance. 24 walks, 33 strikeouts, and opponents hitting .279 against him. He'll face 5, 6, and 7. And leading off is not going to be Logan Morrison. It's going to be Xander Wheel. Xander Wheel, who leads the Rockers in both home runs and runs batted in this year. Excuse me, this year. It's been a long season, starting to lose the voice at times a little bit, I guess. Excuse me, Xander Wheel, 25 home runs. And he has tacked on 78 runs batted in as well. Rockers certainly wouldn't say no to a home run here, but they really need base runners. That pitch inside from Weinberger, and the count goes to 1-0. Interesting that they have Wheel hitting for Morrison. I guess the thought, just that Logan Morrison has kind of struggled a little bit recently offensively. Wheel swings, lines this one into left field. It gets down a hit. Leadoff base hit for Xander Wheel. That'll bring up Tyler Ladendorf now, 1 for 3. Although, and I said it in the pregame show, and I'll say it again, Morrison really barreled up a couple of baseballs the last few days. The triple yesterday was hit hard and deep into the right center field side. The double the other day was hit deep into the left center field gap. So I feel like Logan is starting to put some better swings on the ball. They're really starting to drive it a little bit more. And I think for High Point, even though he didn't get a hit tonight, we certainly hope to see that continue as Weinberger fires up and in to Ladendorf, and the count 1-0. Wheel takes his lead off of first base, not a huge lead. Ladendorf takes inside, 2-0. Alfonso in the on-deck circle, and Jay Gonzalez at the bottom of the stairs. Jay Gonzalez at the bottom of the stairs is the tying run. It's a big ask for the Rockers to make up 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, but hey, it's been done before. There's a strike to Ladendorf, and the count 2-1. Ladendorf has one of 5 Rockers hits tonight. Weinberger fires the 2-1. This one's hit high in the air into right. Anderson Miller in front of the track makes the catch, first out of the 9th inning. Here's Giovanni Alfonso. He is 0 for 3. And Alfonso has also struck out twice tonight. Six runs on 10 hits, no errors for the Genomes. 2-5-0 the line score for High Point. Then, of course, we mentioned Jay Gonzalez, and then looks like Mike Galino at the bottom of the steps right now. Rockers, in terms of pinch hitters, only guy really available that's left is J.R. DiSarcina, who hasn't seen action in a couple of days now. First pitch to Alfonso from Weinberger. This was hit on the ground to second. This should do it. Paredes goes to second for 1. Johns on to first base, and that will do it. Rockers hit into a double play, which ends their hopes of the 9th inning and ends their hopes of rallying and winning this series. Genomes win it by a final score of 6-2, and they regain a 1-game advantage in the Atlantic League Wild Card standings. Rockers post-game show next on the Rockers Baseball Network. Welcome into the Rockers postgame show on the Rockers Baseball Network. Genomes get it done tonight. Final score 6-2. Wild Health gets on the board in the first inning. A triple from Luke Becker on the first pitch of the game. And then a wild pitch from Ivan Pinheiro allows Becker to come in and score 1-0. Rockers, though, would take the lead in the bottom of the first inning. Back-to-back home runs. Ben Aklinski and Jerry Downs. But unfortunately for High Point, that was it for their offense. 3 of their 5 hits came in the first inning and both of their runs. In the fourth inning, a 2-run home run from Felix P.A. gave the Genomes the lead. That was all the runs that Eli Villanueva would need, but they would still tack on 3 more. A triple by Felix P.A. in the sixth. He would score on a wild pitch. And then an RBI base hit and RBI ground out in the eighth inning. 6-2, your final score. Eli Villanueva masterful tonight, striking out 11 batters in 7 innings to earn the win, going to 8-8. Ivan Pinheiro takes the loss, giving up 4 runs in 6 innings, falling to 4-2. 2,063 the attendance today, and a much quicker game than last night at 2 hours and 46 minutes. We'll take one last look around the Atlantic League. See, from 5 down to take a 6-5 lead in the fourth inning. Does this team ever lose? I'm starting to think the answer to that is no. It's going to be a long ride home for the Honey Hunters, though. Rockers may have a little bit of an advantage tomorrow as they will take on Gastonia from Caramont Health Park. Now, if you hand out a game ball for today, who gets it? You know, this is one of the few times this year I honestly don't think there's a good candidate. But we'll give it to Jerry Downs for extending his hitting streak to 11. He's now 1 behind Ben Aklinski's streak of 12 earlier this year for the longest hit streak on for the Rockers this season. But again, not a great option anywhere. But anyways, with that said, we'll about wrap things up. Tomorrow we will be at Gastonia, a doubleheader beginning at 3:15. We will be on both MixLR and YouTube tomorrow. MixLR begins at 2:50. The Rockers pregame show 2:50. YouTube will begin at 3 o'clock. So we hope you'll be able to tune in for tomorrow's doubleheader beginning at 3:15. Big thank you to everyone down in the control room, our camera operators all throughout the ballpark tonight for all their hard work, and the Rockers media department for everything they do behind the scenes. And that's a wrap for us tonight. Final score one last time, the Genomes 6 and the Rockers 2. This has been a presentation of High Point Rockers Baseball on the Rockers Baseball Network. I'm Kendrick Fruits, wishing you a rocking good night.